This explanation of editorial will help you in understanding the difficult words and the complicated sentences in an easy way, in an easy language. And if you are from Hindi medium, then definitely you should watch this. But before watching this editorial, you should watch the Hindi version of this editorial. I have provided the link in the description box. Now see, winter is here. So here we are talking about the Winter Olympics that are going to be conducted in Beijing. So the title is Winter is Here. The games in China have taken on political significance. When you begin, or you can say that when you take on means you develop a particular character. So the games in China have been developing around political significance. It means these games are gaining popularity due to political reasons also, domestically and globally. So in China as well as around the world, these games are gaining significance due to political reasons. On the eve of means the period or day before an important event. If any important event is going to start, just before that event, and that time period is called on the eve of. The opening of the Winter Olympics in Beijing on Friday, India announced a diplomatic boycott of the games. Boycott means when you do not support something, when you are against something, you do not support, it means you are boycotting that thing. So just before the starting of Winter Olympics, India announced that India is not going to support these games. So it was, you can say that, a diplomatic boycott. है ना? India's officials boycotted these games. The MEA, Ministry of External Affairs, said no Indian official will be present at the opening or closing ceremonies of the games. So strictly it is the statement from MEA that no Indian official will be present at the opening or closing ceremonies of these games, which run from February 4 to 20, and these games will take place from February 4 to February 20. The decision for an official boycott of the games. So here editorial discuss what is the main reason why India has boycotted these games. So why this decision was taken. So this is additional information. We will discuss this information as well. The decision for an official boycott of the games followed. Followed means came after China's move this week to choose a PLA. PLA means People's Liberation Army. So Chinese army is called People's Liberation Army commander as one of the participants of the traditional torch relay race. Relay race, relay race is this is a type of race in which four participants are there. Four participants are there. So in relay race, you will hold a torch, and then this player will run, and this player will give torch to next player, and the next player will give the torch to the next one, and similarly. So this is the relay race. So there is a traditional torch relay race, and in this race, China decided to have one of its PLA commander. Now we see this additional information. A lone means only Indian athlete who qualified. Skier Arif Khan. Skier means a person who moves over snow on skis. A person who moves over snow. This is a type of game. So skier Arif Khan is the only one person who is taking part in these games. Will still take part in both the games and in the opening ceremony along with support staff. So Arif Khan along with supporting staff will be taking part in these games. So India boycotted these games because of the person, and who is that person? PLA commander, है ना? PLA commander. The commander was involved in the June 15, 2020 clash. Clash means fight in Galwan Valley. So on June 15, 2020, there was a fight between India and China in Galwan region, in Galwan Valley, and this commander was involved in that fight. He was subsequently means after that, following. Given means considering. He was subsequently given, here given means simply it was given military honors by Beijing. So after the Galwan clash, that person, that PLA commander was given military honor by China. The MEA, Ministry of External Affairs, said the commander's participation in the torch relay was regrettable. Regrettable means it is very sad. It is very sad that this commander has this commander has been selected as a participant in the torch relay. Until this week, New Delhi was considering. Considering means you were thinking. New Delhi was considering having its top diplomat in Beijing attend the games. So initially it was India's plan that India's top diplomat means top official persons attend the games. So India was planning, India was supporting these games, and India was considering that its officials be present during the opening ceremony of these games. Only in November, India joined Russia in expressing support for the games. During November, India also joined Russia and supported these games. Following means after that, a meeting of the foreign ministers of Russia, India and China. So a meeting took place, and that meeting was between Russia, India and China's foreign ministers, and after that meeting, India also supported these games along with Russia. If India deal with means how do you handle something, deal with, to handle something, its own long list of problems with China and a continuing standoff. Standoff means deadlock. Standoff means there is no progress between two parties. Standoff along the line of actual control. LAC, line of actual control. It is border between China and India. So India has a lot of problems. India is dealing with a lot of problems with China, and still continuing means it is going on. Still it is going on, standoff along the line of actual control. Still along the LAC, deadlock is continuing. So India had initially planned to not involve itself in the politics surrounding the games. So it was the previous plan of India. Initially means what you have decided previously. So it was India's plan to not involve itself in the politics that is surrounding these games. Beijing's torch relay changed that calculus, but after Beijing's torch relay, India changed its calculations. India changed its opinions. The broader context of the selection of the PLA commander is an ongoing campaign by China to publicize. Publicize means why China has, you can say, why China has appointed a PLA commander in relay race. So the broader context, in general, if we talk in this sense, then PLA commander was selected. Why? Ongoing campaign. Campaign means you are doing some activities to promote something. So China wants to promote Galwan clash and highlight the bravery of PLA troops. So by appointing, or by, you can say that by selecting this PLA commander in the relay race. China wants to publicize Galwan clash, as well as China wants to highlight the bravery of China's military. PLA troops है ना, PLA troops means China's military. India's statement of support for the games in November had come amid the US and its allies. Allies means your supporters, your associates, announcing a diplomatic boycott. So, India supported these games during November, and amid means what was happening at that time. The US and some other countries were boycotting these games. Why America and its allies were boycotting these games? Because of rights violations in Xinjiang. Xinjiang is a region in China. So in that region where minority Uyghurs, it is a community, have been sent to re-education camps. So the US and some of the supporters of US alleged China that China is violating the rights of Uyghur community. US accused China of doing something, you can say that, of doing something illegal activities, like America accused China that Uyghur communities have been sent to re-education camps. China first denied. Deny means to refuse the existence of the camps. So when the US accused China that in Xinjiang region China is violating some rights, the first reaction of China was that there are no such camps. China first denied the existence of the camps, but after some time, China said they were for vocational training. China said that yes, we are organizing these camps, but these camps are for some training purpose, for some vocational training means a training for some occupation or for some employment. China denounced. Denounce means to not accept something. The diplomatic boycott by around a dozen countries. So at present, more than or around a dozen countries are boycotting China, but China is not paying attention to their boycott, which India has now joined. So those countries that are boycotting China's games, now India has joined these countries, which India has now joined, albeit means however, for different reason, but the reason is different. As politicizing the games, China says that these countries who are boycotting the games, China says that these countries are trying to politicize the game. It is another matter that Olympic Games through history have been inherently means something that is closely connected, something that is associated with something, inherently political events. So editorial says that it is also another matter that throughout the history we see Olympic Games have been politically significant for host nations. The nation that organizes Olympics, holding means to conduct something, holding a successful games carries the promise of burnishing. Burnish means when you want to improve your image. When you want to improve your image, burnishing the legitimacy. Legitimacy means if something is legal, you want to make something legal, it means you want to make it legitimacy of the government of the day. So the country that organizes these events, that country wants to show its image, that country wants to improve its image, that country wants to show that we are legitimate government. The games within China have certainly taken on particular political significance domestically. So at domestic level, है ना, in China, these games have acquired political significance. Taken on, है ना, we already discussed. Take on means to develop a particular quality, to develop a particular appearance. In the context of the country's battle against COVID-19, in the context of the country's battle against COVID-19. So the China fought against COVID-19, and now these games are acquiring political significance. Last month, what happened last month? Last month, President Xi Jinping noted that the 2022 Olympics would be the first international multi-sport event to be held as scheduled since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. Pandemic means a widespread disease. Outbreak means when something spreads rapidly, it is called outbreak. So it was the statement of President Xi Jinping last week that this is the first time in 2022 that a multi-sport event is going to be conducted after the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. The underlying message means the message that is hidden, the message that is implicit is that the successful holding of the games amid the pandemic is another example of the superiority. So by conducting these games, by holding these games, China wants to show its superiority. The underlining message is that the successful holding of the games means conducting games successfully amid the pandemic is another example of the superiority of the Chinese political model. So China wants to show its political superiority with these games. China wants to show that amid the pandemic we are going to organize such a multi-sport event, which has been highlighted as a sharp contrast. Contrast means to show the difference between two things. Contrast means to show the difference, which has been highlighted. Here, which means Chinese political model, which has been highlighted as a sharp contrast, especially with how the US handled the pandemic. So, with organizing these games, China wants to show that, see our country, we are organizing these games amid the pandemic, and the US couldn't handle the pandemic better than us. Last year, the IOA, International Olympic Association, added the word together to the official Olympic motto of faster, higher, stronger. So this is the motto. This is the aim of Olympic. What is the aim? The aim of the Olympic is to achieve these goals. To be faster, to be higher, and to be stronger. And another word was added last year, to be together. If that is certainly a laudable aspiration. Laudable means something that deserves appreciation, something that must be appreciated. It is laudable. Aspiration means what do you want to achieve? Your goal, that is your aspiration. What do you want to become? What do you want to achieve? That is your aspiration. So editorial says that if really these are our goals, like we want to be faster, higher, stronger, and together, then editorial says that these goals really deserve appreciation. It is clear that as far as the Olympics are concerned, if we talk about Olympics, as far as something is concerned means, if we talk about this subject, if we talk about Olympics, the politics is never far away. So editorial says that the politics is also connected with Olympics. You cannot remain politicizing, you cannot remain yourself away from politicizing such type of events. That will certainly be the case in Beijing. Editorial says that the same thing will happen in Beijing also, that these games will be politicized as the latest games as the latest games begins both on and off the sky slope. Slope means the side of a mountain. Slope means the side of this area will be called slope. Slope means side of a mountain or a surface like that. It is called slope. And I already told you ski. Ski means a piece. Ski means a piece of wood or plastic that is fastened to boots so that the wearer can move quickly over snow. It is called, so this type of game happens at ski slopes. So editorial says that the politics will be there as the game starts on and off ski slopes.